Welcome back to an exciting video, and what we're talking about today is how to find fret buzz when it's only across a couple of frets. As you can see, I've changed location. I am actually in my wood shop, and which is our garage. We don't park cars in here. There's nothing in here but a bunch of tools and my motorcycle. We've been in here working. My wife is building custom charcuterie boards that she wants to give away for Christmas. And you can see here, this is actually spalted maple. It's a beautiful wood. Absolutely beautiful wood. And I'm not sure what this is, but she's building another one out of this one. And this one's going to be absolutely lovely. It's going to have the live edge on it. So we've been in here filling holes and sanding and all that stuff, getting ready for her to put her finishing touches on them and to get the router out and do all the edge work and stuff. But what we're going to do is we are going to talk about frets and fret buzz, which seems to be one of my favorite topics because I have an awful lot of videos about fret buzz on my channel. But I also get asked an awful lot of questions about fret buzz. Let me get these bits out of the way. Set them right there. So if you have fret buzz and it's only across a couple of frets and you've adjusted your neck, you've adjusted your bridge, you've done everything you know to do, but you still have the fret buzz. Now I had a guy, one of the guys came to my channel and he said that he's looked everywhere and he can't find a lot of videos on this particular thing. And come to find out, he believes his neck has a light twist in it because he's done everything that I'm getting ready to go over. He's already done all this. So if your neck is straight, this is how you solve the issue if you have one. If you have a twist in your neck, this isn't going to work for you at all. And the best thing to do at that point is to buy a new neck or go play a show. And at the end of the show, take said guitar and pull a Pete Townsend and just bash the hell out of it on stage. You can do that also, which would be really cool for your show. But, so I cut out some 2x4s here. These are super duper jumbo huge frets. This is our guitar neck, this piece of spalted maple. And what we're going to do is we're going to space these frets out here like so. And yes, these are our frets. These are our frets. And for the sake of argument, we're going to say this is 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And somewhere right in here, you have fret buzz. And we're going to say on your E string, your E and your B string, and you just cannot seem to get rid of it no matter how you adjust your guitar. So we're going to narrow this down and see if we can eliminate what the issue is. So what you do is once you have your said guitar with your super duper jumbo massive huge frets, you get it's a little piece of metal, and it's actually going to be a fret rocker. Now granted, this is an old rusty ruler, but it's probably going to be about this big, and it's a little block, and it's big enough to span across 3 frets. So this is, as you can tell, to perfect scale. Perfect scale. So there'll be no questions about the accuracy of this test. So the idea situation is you take your fret rocker and you put it on 3 frets, and there should not be any rocking whatsoever. You go up 3 frets, there shouldn't be any rocking. You go up 3 more frets, there should not be any rocking. So how do we eliminate this? Let's say, for all intent and purposes, 12, 13, 14. In this example, 14 is going to be our high fret. How do we find it? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this shim and we're going to stick this under 14. And now we have made ourselves a high fret. So if we're starting at number 12, we're going to put our rocker across 12, 13, and 14. And of course, you will get no rock. Hang on, this is going to move because this is shimmed. So, but you will get no rock. Your rocker will not move. So we know the problem isn't sitting right here at 12. So we go up another 3 frets. Now all of a sudden, we've got a lot of movement. All right, so it seems our problem is going to be at 14. But to make sure, we're going to go up 3 more frets. And if it doesn't rock on those 3 frets, then fret 14 is a high fret. And this is where you're getting your issue at here. So what's happening is when you're fretting down here at 12, at 11 or 12, you're getting fret buzz on this high fret at 14. So the cure is to get a set of fret files. And if you're a little unsure about doing this, then you might want to have somebody do it for you. But you get yourself a set of fret files and you start filing this fret down. And you keep filing, and remember, everything in small increments. Do a little bit of filing and then rock. And you keep doing it until you have no more rock. And then you test the frets below it and the frets above it. And when there's no rock and everything is even, now you've got that problem resolved. And all you have to do at that point is repolish your fret and you're good to go. But what if you have a low fret? Well, that's a whole different problem all in itself. If you have a low fret, let's shim these up. So we're going to shim up all these frets except for 14. And like I said, yes, all this is to absolute perfect scale. If you don't believe me, measure it off. So now, all these frets are normal except for one. We have a low fret. This one right here. Now we already know this because I did not shim it up. On your guitar, you won't know which one it is. All right, so now we will get our block and we will go to 12, 13, and 14. And what will happen is you'll notice we'll have a little bit of rock right here. So, okay, so now we're starting to think, okay, maybe either we have a low fret or a high fret. We're not sure yet which one it is. So we go up to the next three. Now, if these don't rock at all, go up to the next three, and now we've got some rock again. So that lets us know that this is a low fret. And what's happening is when you're fretting here, when you're pressing the string here, now your fret buzz is occurring here and here. To where, as before, you pull these shims out. If we have a high fret at 14, and let's say we're playing in the E minor pentatonic for all intent and purposes, if we have a high fret at 14 and we're playing this open E down here, or when we're playing, forgot the E fretted off here, if we have a high fret at 14, this is where you're getting your fret buzz. When you push down the string down here, it's buzzing on this one. But when this fret is a low fret, when you're pushing down the string further than the frets in front of it are short or tall. So now your fret buzz is happening here and here. So if you have a low fret, you're going to get fret buzz within the two, more than likely the one or two, possibly two frets in front of it. If you have a high fret, you're actually going to get the buzz right at that fret, because as you fret down here, this fret's too tall, so it's rubbing against the bottom of the string. Now, if you have a low fret, that creates a whole different problem by itself. You cannot go in and file these frets down to accommodate this fret. If you do that, then you have to go in and file the entire set of frets. If you have a 21, 22, or 24 fret guitar, you have to file all of them. That is a lot of time and a tremendous amount of work. The best thing to do is get rid of this fret altogether. What I would do is remove this fret, put a new fret back in. And if it seats properly, this fret should be even or a touch on the high side. Now, if this fret becomes a touch on the high side, we simply just file it down to smooth it out with the rest of the frets. And that is how you fix a low fret. You necessarily cannot lift the fret and then try to file it, because chances are that fret is just going to push right back down and reseat itself too low into the fretboard. So you're going to have to put a new fret in it in order to accommodate that problem. Now, I do know people who have lifted the fret and have had some success with it. Personally, I don't think that that is the logical thing to do. I would remove the fret, put a new fret of the same size back into the guitar, and then file that fret down. But if you have excessive wear on your frets already, now's the time just to refret the entire guitar. because now you're just kind of pissing in the wind trying to fix one fret when all the frets are excessively worn. You're just going to end up having to refret it sooner or later anyway. So if you have a tremendous amount of wear and one of them happens to be low, at that point I would just refret the entire guitar. A good fret job is probably going to run you $400 to $500 depending on who does it, if they do it accurately. Now, do you need to have it plecked? There's nothing wrong with plecking, but if you have a good luthier, somebody who understands necks and how to fret, you won't need to have it plecked. He can do an equally as good of a job as a plecked fret. So don't waste your money on having somebody install frets and have it plecked, because that could cost you another $200 to $400 on top of the fret job. So that is how you figure out where that fret buzz is if you have a low or a high fret and how to fix it. And unfortunately, there's no other way to fix it. These are the steps you have to go through. So this should pretty much wrap up all my videos on fret buzz. I think I have covered every single instance of fret buzz, unless if you have a twisted neck or something like that. And honestly, I'm just not going to get into that because that's unfixable. Like I said, you either buy a new neck or you just bash the hell out of that guitar and be really cool on stage for one night, which you probably need because chances are if you're like me, you're not very cool anyway. So bashing a guitar on stage just might help your career just a little bit. So we're going to wrap it up right there. And like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. Oh, and before I finish that up real quick, in my wood shop, I am going to start building custom guitar cases. That's one thing I'm getting ready to start doing. And they're going to be really cool. They're going to be display cases, not carry cases. And they're going to have a lot of glass in them, a little bit of acrylic on the back, and they're going to be made out of all kinds of different exotic woods and stuff. And after I figure out exactly my formula for it, which I'm getting ready to start doing now, then I'm going to start making them out of exotic woods like zebra woods and stuff like that. And these are going to be display cases, and I'm going to make them to stand on the floor and to hang on the wall. I'm actually going to make both. The ones on the floor will have glass on the top, the two sides, and the front with a door to get said guitar in and out of. And then the back, I can either do in glass, I can do in some kind of custom wood, or I can do it in an acrylic. Which will, I'll build the mold, make the acrylic, put it in there to color match the guitar or whatever have you. So yes, that is a shameless plug for what I'm ever getting ready to do, but I don't care because it's my channel. So again, on that note, like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. And for whatever you do, for the love of God, rock on.